Hi, this is Sarah. I'm here to talk about the send back feature in Seesaw. The send back feature in Seesaw is relatively new and I get a lot of questions about it. So I want to show you what it looks like from the student side and from the teacher side in a little bit more depth. The Send Back to Student feature is a premium feature that's available if you are a user of Seesaw Plus or Seesaw for Schools. If you're currently a free Seesaw user, and you have not tried Seesaw Plus, you can choose the try free for 60 days option so that you can use this with your students. I'm here in my fake fourth grade class and I have an activity that I submitted to my pretend students and I want to look at this one response that's come in. I can see this in the feed view or I can see it in the activity view. So I can look at it from the journal or I can look at it from activities. I like to review activities here. So I'm going to click review and I'm going to scroll down and I ask students to draw and color the scene outside their window, or if they wanted to, they could draw and color an imaginary scene outside their window. So I've gotten a response from AJ. AJ has drawn a picture and written a label about what is happening outside his window, an imaginary scene, but AJ did not color this. So I'm going to make a comment and I'll write the comment here. Remember that you can also voice record comments to your students. And I will say, AJ, I like your drawing. There's a lot of detail. Will you please go back and color your drawing? And I will post that. And then I will click send back. Now, if I look at AJ's work, it says that it's a draft. It's still visible to me, but it's sent back AJ's work so that AJ can continue working on it. I'm now signed in as AJ, my pretend student in this class, and I want to know what AJ can see in a little bit more depth. First of all, if AJ goes to the inbox, he can see in his notifications that the teacher commented and that the teacher sent back the work. So AJ could click here and look at the comment and see that it's been sent back. A question I recently got was, does it show up in AJ's journal? So if I look at the journal, it does show that it's visible to AJ and the teacher. It's not visible to anybody else because it's a draft. And if I go to activities, it does not show as a current activity. So again, in the inbox, the student who has received work back can look at notifications and see that the teacher sent back the work from review, that the teacher commented on that sent back item. The student will see it in their feed, but it will not be listed any longer as a current activity. So that's what that looks like on the student side. Once the student clicks on notifications and they look back at this, they could edit it and make the requested changes. So once the student finishes making their adjustments, they can click the check mark. They will now see that their item is waiting for approval again. And the teacher will once again see that as an unapproved post. So they will see it here in items to review. They'll see it back in activities in items to review, and the teacher will also see it in the inbox in notifications that AJ wants to add an item, that AJ's updated that item, and that there's one unapproved item. So at this point, the teacher gets to decide whether they're going to approve this or not. So the teacher can add another comment and post it. And if I'm going to like something, it's usually at this point that I do that. Click approve. And now that item is finished. I also want to take a moment to point out that if you don't want that original comment to show on your student's work once you have approved it, that you just need to go in and delete that comment. On the student side, they'll see this item as complete. It no longer says waiting for a response. It no longer says draft. It's just approved and in the journal. And if they look at the inbox and go to their notifications, they'll see that the item was updated by the teacher. As a teacher, I have another post from a student. I'm going to review it in the activity. As I'm reviewing, I might want to ask my student to add a few more details. Again, this is a pretend student in a pretend class, but maybe I want them to add a few more details. So I have written a comment. I'm going to click post, or I could record the comment, and I mean to send it back, but I accidentally approve it. Or possibly another teacher approved all, or I approved all, and then realized I really should have sent this item back. The student will see this message in their inbox. It's not the same as if they had seen it that it was sent back, but they could see this message in their inbox. And I will show you what that will look like from the student perspective. Now I'm back in the student's class. That item is no longer in activities. It is in the student's journal, and it's not been sent back by the teacher. At this point, once the teacher approves the item, the teacher cannot send it back again. However, if Becca happens to look and notice that the teacher has asked her to add a little bit more detail, she could work on this again. She would also see this in her notifications. If she looks at notifications, she would see the teacher commented on the post, will you please add more details? So she could click on that. When it opens up, the student could click the three dots and they could copy and edit the item, or they could edit the item. Then they can click the check mark again. It will again show that it's waiting for teacher approval. The teacher would again see that there's an item ready for review. They'll see that the student added more details and then sent it back to the teacher. And again, the teacher can now delete the original comment if they don't want that comment to be on the student project anymore. And then the teacher could write a new comment based on the information that the student has added. And then again, they can approve all, or they can approve the post one at a time. So that's how a student can see comments on their journal post and edit and resubmit journal posts, even if you, as the teacher, already approved them. I hope that this deeper look into the Send Back feature in Seesaw was helpful to you. Have a good day.